Whoa, so this is my 2008 Infiniti G35X. It's been my daily driver for about 7 years, actually 8 years. Has 177,000 miles. It's in pretty good shape. I took care of it. It does have some flaws, and let's point them out. First and foremost, there's this scratch here. This is when I ran into a curb. Well, I didn't run into it, I just rubbed against it. Got a bit of a clear coat failure here. Small dent over here. Right here, somebody actually opened the door into me in the parking lot. This is a scratch that has been touched up. I bought the car with this already. These are some scratches in the rear bumper. My wife backed into a concrete wall. This is the spot where we have some rust going on. There's a dent here too. So what happened there, I was driving along and a deer ran into my car. So I got a nice little dent here, and this here happened at the same time. If I move it around, you can see the dent here as well. Besides that, it's really hard to show on the camera, but you could see some specks of rust here. But it's been like that since I bought the car and hasn't gotten any worse. Let's see what else. Got a bit of a dent here. The brake rotors and pads were actually replaced last year, and it's hard to tell because everything looks so rusted, but I actually do have a receipt for the brake job. As you can see, the wheels are not in the greatest shape, but they can clean up pretty well, I think. So here's the rear brake. It's kind of hard to see. Driver's side. And here's how much tread the tires have. It's a good amount of tread. I replaced these back in 2017, so about 3 years ago. They should be good enough for another, I don't know, maybe a year or so. Let's pop the hood. That's what it looks like under the hood. Try to keep it pretty clean. You know, it's my daily driver, so it's not a show car by any means, but I changed the brake fluid last year. Also, we flushed the antifreeze as well. I also had a water pump, the thermostat replaced, the front oil seal, the timing chain tensioner has been replaced. And again, I have receipts for all the work. The battery was replaced, I believe, 2 years ago in this car. Okay, so now we'll take a look at the trunk. Not much to see here. Got the tools, got the spare. Looks like there's a bit of surface rust there. Manuals here, CD changer if you want to use it. One last thing I wanted to point out, actually, that I forgot to mention, is if you look here, the splash shield is a little damaged. That's because in one of the oil changes, my mechanic took off the splash shield and I didn't notice until years later, and of course it's nowhere to be found. And the splash shield is what this attaches to on the bottom. Show you a little bit of how it looks underneath. Let's go inside. Okay, this one I showed in the pictures. You know, this trim is peeling a little bit, could use a little paint. Leather seats actually look pretty good, I think. This one has a little divot here and some scratches. That's because my German Shepherd used to ride here sometimes. Besides that, steering wheel has a little bit of this, pitting going on. This isn't dirt. So 177,000 miles. You have some warning lights here. This one here is a TPMS. I believe the batteries went out on the one of the passenger side front. You got the little exclamation mark because the doors are open. And obviously the seat belt. There are no other lights. So, infotainment, everything works. And actually, one thing I was going to mention is that the AC compressor was replaced last year. It went out on me in the middle of a summer and turned out that the compressor seized. Here's the rear view camera. What else? If you look there, those indentations, I think they'll bounce right back. That's because I had a child seat in there. Sunroof, no problems there. So one thing here is that one of these buttons is missing. This thing fell off. I used to garage it all the time, so this one was pressed a lot. So one day it just fell out. And I got some receipts in there for all the work that's been done. Alright, let's go for a drive.